Hello all, a knife sale here, bringing you a knife review of this CKF David Lespect collaboration Davless knife. And as you can see, I have two of them. I love them. It's wonderful. This knife is fan-frickin-tastic. It is expensive. There is no doubt about that. This one has a little bit more lock bar pressure. This one, on the other hand, is almost drop shot. It is drop shot. It's just a little dry on the inside. I think it might need a dot of oil just touching the ball on the detent ball. In fact, let's show you what you do. In my opinion, you take a little one of these little sort of fuzzy detailing sponge things. Sure, swabs. I don't even know. Put just a tiny bit of nano oil on there. Well, in that case, it's nano oil. You find the detent ball, which is actually way down in there, and you touch this tip to it. Oh God! Starting off by touching tips. Okay. Just rub it on there a little bit. Yep. That helps, especially when it's already close to being drop shot. If it's needing a little bit more, or it's not a drop shot knife, even a dollop can do it. It can help you for something that's, a little tighter. But for something like this, you really don't need much. Alrighty then, let's just do specs real quick on this knife. We have 3 1/8 to this front of the handle. Down here, where the actual blade length ends, you've got almost 3 1/4. Overall, 7 5/8 handle from this farthest forward part. 4 5/8. 4 inches and 5/8. For a quick comparison, got the small Civivi Elementum and the full-size Conspirator, and as this thing is very apparent, sits kind of directly in between them. It's a happy medium. This is a medium-sized knife. This is small, this is full-size, this is medium. In fact, you know what? I'm going to touch the, that's my arm. I'm going to touch the lock bar on this one, too. Not the lock bar, the detent ball. Yeah, this one, see, it's just a little bit more shake shut needing. It's, I think the lock bar tension on this one's a little bit heavier. Other than that, they feel very, very similar. It's about as tall as the Conspirator with the flipper tab. Without it, it is a bit taller. It is, however, thicker. It's much thicker than it even looks. Like the Conspirator, let's do the calibers right now. Oh, they're 1.5 today. Oh God, they're getting worse. 525 thousandths, so just a little over half an inch. This is going to be, it doesn't look that much thicker, but it is contoured. Yeah, 572 thousandths. So it's noticeably thicker, but it doesn't, no. It is thicker, but not noticeably thicker. It just doesn't feel it. Maybe it's because it's contoured so much and so well, I don't know. But it doesn't feel that thick in the hand. It feels solid, but I don't know. I don't mind it. Weight. 4.05 ounces. And this one, the other one in the crystal tie, And that's the thing. These things come in multiple variants. They got zircon clips. This is zircon tie. This is crystal tie. There's also superconductor pivot collars. Or pivot overlays? I don't know. Who knows? No one knows. I say that, but someone definitely does. Just not someone here. This one's probably like just almost 4 ounces on the dot. That difference is literally the zirconium infused, probably, and maybe the black wash coating. That might literally be just... They're so close. They're basically 4 ounces. Not heavy at all. Not an ounce an inch, but... Is that really bothering anybody who's not looking to maximize weight somehow? I don't know. We've got T8 all the way around on this external stuff. Underneath this right here is your pivot. It is captured. I've had this knife apart, this particular one, twice, I believe. This one came fighting a little bit. It was a little gunky inside. It was a little off-center when I got it. I had to adjust it. It's darn near perfect now. No play, nothing. It's great. Wonderful. This one was super immaculate. Maybe it's because I've taken it apart and messed around with the lock and everything like that. And not the lock, but you know what I mean. Just having it apart. Maybe that's what's caused it to be a little bit less drop shot. No idea. But pivot's right under there. It is T8. The body screws, however, which are back here, are not T8. They're T6. That's the only T6 on the entire knife. I don't love that they're there. I wish, especially considering they're concealed, they just went with the big T8s. I'm pretty positive they're T6, if I'm remembering correctly. But I don't quite know why they did that, but they did. There's 2 of them. That feels wrong. That feels wrong. There's something about this knife that makes me feel that that's not quite accurate. 1. No, not quite ready. There you go. Now let's see if we can get this thing to pop off and cooperate easily. No, of course not. I don't believe... No, I'm actually quite certain I don't have to take this off. Oh, yes, you do have to take it off. Oh, yep, there it is. There you go. There's your internals. That's your stop pin. You've got a screw there. I believe 2 screws there? Yeah, I think this is one and this is one. You know what? What the heck? No, I'm not doing that. I have to take off the clip and all that other crap. Yeah, there's multiple screws down here. I'm pretty sure they're T6s. I don't think that all of these are screws, though. I want to say this is a bar, and there's like 2 screws. Maybe 3. I don't know. Oh, God, I just realized I'm reviewing something, and all I'm saying is I have no idea. Oh, the shame. The shame, the shame, the shame. The knife is a little bit more complicated underneath there than it necessarily had to be, I think. The hardware is obviously steel, as it is attaching itself to my magnetic driver. In every way but the way I want it to. Of course, because that's how it always has to be. I feel like this might be the wrong screw. No? Okay. Doesn't look like it matters. That's nice. Yeah, doesn't look like it matters. Alright. Whatever. Getting into the actual talking about this knife, because I've hemmed and hawed and messed around enough. These are wonderful. I really want a David Lespect custom. I love his stuff. Just the design. The little touches, yeah. I like his design language. I like his work. These are no exception, even though they're not done by him. CKF does production of the base knife in China and a lot of the hand finishing and the smaller stuff, the refining, the milling, the small stuff. The wash, the satins, some of the detail milling and stuff like that. They do that in... Is it Slovakia, the Czech Republic? I think that's where they're based out of. I think they still have one of their factories in Russia where they originally were. I think it's maybe like 2 little factories that they've got going on. Something like that. It's hard to know. I'm not saying anything for certain. In fact, I'm pretty sure I probably shouldn't say anything at all if I'm not saying anything for certain. Because nothing I say is certain. In fact, I'm pretty sure that none of what I just said made any sense. Yes. Sure. But basically what all that adds up to is an expensive knife. CKF knives are expensive. I have quite a few of them because I really like some of the stuff they do. But they are very expensive. These are basically $700 knives. They're not lightweight stuff. They're beyond premium knives. They're high end. I mean, you can get like CNC customs for that $800 territory. But these are extremely well done, and they have some really nice designs, and I like what they do. I like their bits of extra. I mean, the milling on this carbon fiber, the contoured milling on this carbon fiber is just beautiful. You can feel all of that, and it feels great in the hand. You've got their logo and Lespect's logo in there. You've got some of the best freaking Zircuti in the industry, I think, that comes out of CKF. I don't know what they do, but theirs is special. And it is beautiful. I mean, you got pops of colors in there, but the blues and the blacks are so strong. In this case, you've got beautiful crystal tie and superconductor. Nobody else is like using superconductor. So freaking rarely you see that. That was the third option on this pivot overlay option. It's just the extra. It really is. So where was I? Ergos. Ergos are wonderful. This knife just, I mean, it doesn't look it. It looks kind of strange. But it just works. Even the clip, which looks like it would be in your hand, disappears. This thing, at least for my hand, it fits me like a glove. And the good kind of glove, not the OJ kind of glove. OJ killed those people. Moving on. This particular one is drop shut. This particular one has a little bit more lock bar tension and is lightly shake shut. We've got a black wash and a hand rub satin, and we've got a CKF wash and a hand rub satin. Both are front flippers, but both are hologram like most David Lespects, and like most David Lespects, you can reverse flick them. That seems to be a common theme with his knives, his customs. They are reverse flickable because he has a hollow grind on them. And it's deep enough and it's in a position, and the way the blade in this sort of often sticks out just enough. And that's sort of the thing. Everything is just right where it needs to be. you have a slightly crowned spine here, which I'm not usually a fan of crowned spines paired with front flippers because I don't like jimping on crown spines because it tends to be sharp because you're interacting primarily with the apex of that crown. This one, however, is so subtly crowned that it's fine. They made it work. The jimping doesn't go up high enough, but, I mean, where I interact with it, just sitting in my hand, that's where I naturally go to, and that's where it's perfect. So, it doesn't bother me. Is jimping better usually when it goes around? Usually. This may be an exception, but usually. You've got a clip. Good tension. Though I will say, while Zergurtai makes a wonderful looking clip, I think it doesn't quite have the flex of just regular titanium. It doesn't have the same spring. It's a little stiffer. This one is pretty good. It's really good in the fact that it's just a continuous rise. It's so perfectly rounded down that it's super comfortable, even though you don't really feel it somehow in the hand. If you move around, of course, you can feel it, but it's just so well chamfered and rounded and executed that it's comfortable, even when it doesn't necessarily look like it would be. It works great in and out of the pocket. Not deep carry, but close enough. Medium kind of sort of carry. Lanyard hole for that dude who cares. Full body backspacer that is bowled out. It's got a channel running it. It's just the little things that make this feel nicer and just so wonderful. That said, yeah, it's still an expensive knife. It's still a bit too expensive, but they're one of the companies where I look at it and I say, oh my god, that's too expensive, but it's so amazing, I'm going to swallow it. Oh, this is turning into an interesting video. Okay. They're one of the few companies that I'll look at and be like, okay, yeah, that it probably is not even justified, but it's worth it still. Just because some of the collabs they do, some of the work they do is so nice, and their execution is so freaking good. And they're small batch, and there's multiple levels of finishing and execution that actually goes into creating the knives, so I guess I don't know. I can do the mental gymnastics needed to get there to the point where I'm just willing to go along with that lizard part of my brain that says, yes, do it. Or is that not the lizard part of the brain? Who knows? I am not a neuroscientist. Or a psychologist. Fits in the hand. Even this jimping up here, it's purposeful. Where my thumb ends, when I'm holding this knife, I'm not up here. I mean, I can be up here. But oftentimes when I just pick up and grab this knife, the palm of my thumb ends on that jimping. It just works. The whole thing just works as an amazingly great knife. You got a modified sheep's foot with a swedge, in this case a black wash, and that hand satin that I mentioned. The stop pin is unfortunately behind the edge, but the interesting thing about the way this thing is the edge termination is dull. In fact, it actually starts to widen out there a little bit. You can sort of see that. That is where the plunge ends. Basically at the edge termination. I don't love seeing that, ever. But the purpose of that is a little extra protection. You're not actually bumping up against something sharp in your hand. So, and the actual stop pin hits right there. Now, normally that would be a problem because that means you can't cut in a sharpening trail there, but you don't want to cut in a sharpening trail there. You want to cut in a sharpening trail starting at the end of this edge forward, if you're going to cut in a sharpening trail. Because this whole area is meant to be there as a protection, and it is part of the slightly thicker area of the plunge. But it is a little bit odd because it doesn't thicken out quite as much as the plunge does. So, it could be a little tricky. to interface with and sharpen? I don't know. I haven't needed to. I do carry this particular one more than this one, and it has dulled a little bit. This one's starting to finally show some use, but it is still so thin and so sharp. And did I say how thick it was behind the edge? I don't even know. The blade stock is 138 thousandths, and behind the edge is actually 11 thousandths. Why do I feel like I didn't say that? Oh, I'm losing my mind. Today has just been a crazy one, and I haven't even done anything. It's like early, and I'm just losing my mind. So, final verdict. Wow, this really is a weird video. Is that this is great. Like, overly expensive, but and to get a Lespect design, just all the time, yes. I want one of those customs. The Davless by CKF is chef's kiss. I bought it twice. I'm going to see how hard it is to sharpen, but I'm thinking I might just go see what it sharpens up like the first time. Just trying to stop my sharpening there and seeing what happens. These are wonderful. Beautiful. Well executed. That's all from me. I think. If I have anything awkward else to say, I'm gonna refrain from doing that right now. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Oh, good lord. Alright, see ya. I'm out before I do anything else.